So, welcome officially to the music production course with me, right? I'm
Yes.
gonna go here with a few slides here. Dinesh is already, you already know him. Obviously, if you're here, it's because you know him first, right? And then you came to me. I'm very excited with this collaboration we're trying to launch for this little time. Okay, I have a good feeling that's gonna be the right time now. We're very close. Okay, and so I have here this little introduction. I mean, you said all, so I don't want to bother you with much more.
Mhm.
So I've been working as three decades in the industry, and probably like you as a musician, then a composer, then maybe also an editor, then an engineer. So I have a kind of like a 360-degree experience around music. I tend to get bored, so then in my life I always try to differentiate myself in many things. The man on many hats, they say. Okay, the common denominator with all this, that's actually why we're here, is that my passion and love for technology. And so since I was a kid, 11 years old, right, I was already coding, working with my first computer, the Spectre 61, the Commodore 64, right? And then, right, and music was like my other passion. So my father said, hey, why don't you put together your two passions, right? Computers are still new. That was the early 80s. And it says, yeah, I thought, why not, right? I was not really ready for a conservatory. I was a teenager, right, more into electronic music. And gladly I took that road, because now I'm here, right? Actually, one of those mentors for many other artists. So I produce songs, working on movies, working at different levels. And I don't want to bother you. You can reach out. You can find me online for that, right? And there's all my friends there. I'm happy and glad to collaborate with them. So what I do with my classes is like what I do with them, right? So at the end, right? So I meet with these engineers, I meet with artists. Everybody wants to go faster. Everybody wants to go better. Everybody wants to cut to the chase, and just being able to produce their music without losing time with the technology. So the technology is crucial. You can be the best composer out there, but if you don't have, knowledge of these computers and softwares, you ain't going too far, right? You have to pay someone. People like me, they can be very expensive when you pay them to come to you, and not just teaching. I'm talking about the studio. So why don't you learn from that, right? So I say always my clients, you pay me once to come to you, I teach you everything, then you're good. You fly solo, you don't need me anymore. If you pay me for the job, you have to pay me every time to come to do the job. But if you pay for my knowledge, right, then you're good to go. And this is right what it's about, right? Music production. I wrote this class specifically for Dynamic School of Audio Engineering, right? We've been working together with Dinesh for a long time, and so this is like the result of many other classes that I've been teaching, that I've been developing. For me, right, teaching is at least like almost 20 years old, 20 years old, a bit long a career, teaching with 10,000 students and 1,000 classes in different formats for different online, on campus, both hybrid, 4 hours long, 2 hours long, 1 hour long, 3 days long in a week, so in any format. So gladly have the experience to fill the room and see how much we can say, we can do. Also depends how much of the groups we have, right? And as you can see, right, only when you go one on one, right, you can go to anything, any kind of level, obviously. But when we go together, it's hard because we gotta find a way, right, to move together. It's like we're a team, right, just going to race the marathon together. Some of you is coming from like a big background. Some of you less, maybe a little less background. Some of you is still new. So I can tell you though that we're gonna start from scratch. That's the idea. But my plan is to work hard already. So then smooth and hard. So then in only a few weeks, usually like the learning curve is very logarithmic. It's not really linear. So we're gonna start right relatively slow, then one. Then the moment we're warmed up, right? It's like the moment we did the 20 miles warm up, then we can run the marathon. Okay, so that's the idea. So if you're looking at here, and then you can ask Dinesh to give you any extra, any information extra you may need. You can ask questions. He's gonna talk to me, right? Anything. So the outcomes. This class is made for everybody. So you see better, right? If I go this way here, right? Yep. Okay. In 1 second, I don't know why one of my apps. 1 second, mouse pose. It went down. That should be better now. Let's see. Okay, there you go. Right? Do you see better? So you should, right? Okay. So this class is ideal for songwriters, composer, producer, audio engineer. So everybody who's willing to learn the fundamental skills and working knowledge you need to begin and finish your own project. When you say project, it could be a song. It could be, actually, I'm going to play for you actually some music right now. I have a surprise. Dinesh, you don't know what I'm going to do it. Okay. Even him is going to be surprised. And it can be anything. It can be a song for a record, a song for a documentary, a song for a movie. So, at the end, right, we're going to go to the point where we don't focus maybe on one genre in particular, but we focus on how to use the software, the technology to implement, right, anything that you want to. So I will be able to unlock your creativity. So it's going to be you choosing the music and the genre, what you want, following my guidelines and following the tools that I'm going to teach you during class. Okay, that's it. Trust me, it's working great. Okay, and those are the outcomes, right? We're going to use Logic Pro, as you can imagine. Why is the most popular, accessible, in the end, even cheaper somehow, professional and cheaper software there. You can get a 3 months and 90 days trial, right? Do you know that? 90 days trials. That's great. That's enough for the class already. And also, by the way, I think it's available worldwide. You can sign up with the Pro application discount, students, so you can have the bundle, Final Cut, Logic, Color, so like 6-7 applications all together at $199, I believe. It's like you pay the price of the price of everything, like the price of Logic. I will share with you details about it that you can double check. And for what I know, it's available worldwide. Okay, so bottom line, you can also go and save the money for the trial, and the trial is a fully operative, right? Operative. So there's no limitation on the trial. Okay, so we're going to use Logic. So initially, we're going to start looking at how to set it up, how to install it properly, how to choose the proper preferences. We're going to start looking at with loops. Now, there's people say, oh, I love loops. Others say, oh, I'm never going to use loops. But I will show you that loops, they can be used in a very creative way. As a guideline for a composer who knows how to write the music, as a final write music already directly if you are a beat maker. So, and don't underestimate, right, what could happen in your life. When I was 21, I wouldn't know that the year after, I was going to write commercials, music for commercials, worldwide famous commercials. And I was like, I don't even know that you could do such a thing with video and audio. And then I got the opportunity, right? This producer got me for an album, and then he says, oh, you're great. Would you like to work with me? I say, yeah, what do you do? Yeah, I write commercials, music commercials. And then I say, oh, okay, what is that? Yeah, we write the 30-second long, right, music for this famous brands on TV. And I found out that I was a natural, good born composer for that. And I did it for at least in a row for 10 years, no stop. Okay, just that. Then off and on. And Max Biaggi, the Valentino Rossi, one of the historical biker, most of the time you can see his documentaries, it's him on the bike. There's a music underneath with the didgeridoo, percussion. It's my stuff. Okay, I wrote the music for most of that. Yeah. And then I wrote the stuff like it was supposed to be demos, right? And then they were sold on TV networks, and they put the music there. So you will never know what's going to happen, right, in your life. You try to do your best always, indeed. We're going to start here with loops. We're going to go into the recording. Audio recording first, right? All the techniques and logic, all the possibilities, take one take, multiple takes, take folders. There are a lot of options. We're going to go to MIDI recording, right? Anything with the controller, with the drum machine, with the keyboard. If I'm going to switch quickly, let's see if I switch camera. Do you see if I go now on a different camera on my desk, right? You see that, right? Okay. So I have multiple cameras that I'm using when I'm teaching there, so I can jump to different things we're doing. And so, the fader port, here, the Launchpad X, small, Akai MPK reverse keys, a big keyboard, 88 keys. So we're gonna go into to use even using why not a graphic pad, right, with the pencil to draw automation directly. That's another smart trick, right? So there's a lot of things involved into the process, and but let's go ahead. Otherwise, I'm gonna spoil too much already. Okay. So software, audio, MIDI, making beats, indeed editing, arrangement, mastering and mixing and mastering, troubleshooting and backup. So as they say in Los Angeles, the whole enchilada, the entire meal pretty much from the ground up. How we're gonna do that is not the usual thing. We're gonna go first to scratch the surface with all the aspects, and then what? So we go like the recording, editing, mixing, easy way, and then we're gonna gradually, jump to the next level after. So this way, right, we can build some trust and confidence in the first 5 weeks, pretty much 4 or 5 weeks, and then right, if I can see how far you can go already based on your background, and from there, right, we take to the next level, and we can see also how far I can go there. So my guideline is to follow all this that I put here, but it could be honestly more, and it could be slightly less, but it's mostly more. The idea is to do, now my plan is never to rush. I am very dynamic. It's funny because I'm a dynamic guy into the dynamic school, right? Dynamic school of audio. So I'm very dynamic, very energetic. They say my passion is contagious. And but I usually don't go fast as I'm talking, right? You guys talk fast like me even more, right? But when I'm teaching, I'm going to be able to slow down the moment I have to go and show you what I'm doing. So then no one can get, lost. My English also is supposed to be, they tell me, very neutral in a way that, I have no problem with nobody internationally. It can be Japanese, Korean, Australian, so they all understand what I'm saying, okay? Whereas some Americans, they're not honestly always understood because they don't think like other people that speak other language. I know that. I've been trained. I put that in mind when I'm teaching, so that there's some cultural barriers, many differences. But the common denominator right here is English, right? I'm going to use that so we can communicate, and we're fine with that. But we're going to go here to a point where none of you, good or bad, or less or more, is going to be in trouble. As you can see, right, I'm hoping that you can understand every word that I'm saying already. So I have a good sound coming up, right? Good audio video is a production kit with professional lighting and everything. So usually it's like a radio show, it's like a Twitch game show, right? They say, okay. So here you'll see, like I said, Dinesh is going to be able to share with you all that stuff if you guys necessary, right? How about now?
L'associazione Umbria Jazz, in collaborazione con Heineken Music Club, presenta Umbria Jazz 94 a Perugia dall'8 al 17 luglio. Il jazz com'era, com'è e come sarà.
Right? So it's sort of like classic, old school jazz, trumpet, Miles Davis stuff, going to the piano and going gradually to the drum machines and all the stuff. That's in 30 seconds, right? Just the sort of the jazz on a commercial. So, things like that, you need the vision, right? You need the creativity. You maybe can't play the parts. You can always find a musician for that. But you need the technology, right? To be able to, express your ideas and just make it, because otherwise he's not going to do it, right? It's not going to work. So the plan here is that not to focus on the genre, but to focus on how to be smart, to use this technologies, Logic in this case, right? That it can help you at any level. And then you come up with the idea. And somehow you're supervised every week, right? Because my idea that every week we're building a piece of the song. So at the end, right, of the 10 weeks, 5 plus 5, let's say you get 1 or 2 projects, right? So the idea that, you have your own final production, and it's like you have the homework. So the homework that you work like you would do as in the studio, and then you have the producer to talk to, right? And then you get the feedback. So that's pretty much, the idea. It's really simple at the end, right? Because you come here live on Zoom, we do 2 hours, and usually we take 1 break in the middle only. Trust me, it goes very fast. It's really... I've been doing since the COVID, my life went completely on Zoom pretty much. And to be honest, initially was like, oh no, it's not going to work this. And then ended up to be honestly the best way that I found to share all this. My classes, they became even more effective on Zoom because I can jump to anything that I want that I need directly from my studio. And you then, you connect. It's like you are in the same room with me, okay? And that's something that it couldn't be possible before, right? Let's be honest. And also, I can imagine how would it be like for me or you coming 10 weeks, 3 months in another state. A class like this will be like what, $1 million, right? So it's impossible. That's not working. And also, what, you are far away from home 3 months for just a 2 hours class? No, it doesn't make sense. So you're there from North India, South India. You're in your place. You have your own actually hardware to play with. If there's a problem, right, I can still help you with that, right? Most of the problems that I have with the big clients is like, oh, for some reason with the latest computer, I have troubles. Look, I'm running here the latest Mac Studio, so you know that latest Mac Studio, top of the line, with the highest processor and RAM, and also with the fastest hard drives out there. So for me, it's a pleasure, smooth everything. But there's a lot of troubles when you work with the latest version of the software, right? Especially the latest Monterey. So there are troubles and things that we will be able to even discuss together when you have a problem. So I'm good at troubleshooting. So you have a problem from home, say, okay, check that out, try this, try that. Gladly Logic is the easiest one, right? Don't forget, I'm teaching Pro Tools half of my time too. And there's a lot of nightmares there, right? Because Pro Tools is a very complicated software, not very compatible with many things, right? You gotta be good at computers before you're good at, at Pro Tools. And with Logic, at least we don't have to waste any minute most of the time, okay? We're good.